My father was Dr. George Hodel. He was a famous physician. He was also the prime suspect and the killer of Elizabeth Short, better known as the Black Dahlia. My dad was head of LA County Health Department, handsome, beautiful speaking voice.
Brown is the river, golden is the sand. It flows along forever with trees on either hand.
In 1949, my mother suddenly places my brothers and I in a military academy. Dad's gone, and we don't know what's happening. We would discover that my half-sister Tamar disclosed that our father had had sex with her. Dad was charged with incest and child molestation and was found not guilty. After 4 years in the Navy, I joined LAPD at 21, 5 years in patrol, 17 in homicide, 300 murder investigations. I served for almost 24 years. My father gets a penthouse in San Francisco. We become very close in that last decade of his life. And then I get that 3 a.m. phone call in 1999 from his wife, June. She says, "Your father's collapsed, and they've just pronounced him dead." 2 days later, I'm on the phone with my half-sister Tamar. She says, the LAPD cops that took me back and forth to the trial said, "We think your father killed the Black Dahlia." And I said, "Well, Tamar, there's no way." I said, "Well, I'm going to be able to establish he had nothing to do with it." But the first thing I discovered is LAPD is confident that the killer was a trained, skilled surgeon. Well, my father was a trained, skilled surgeon, but still, I said, there's no way. The next thing I find out is the Black Dahlia killer is sending taunting notes to the police and the press. This one note, full, non-disguised handwriting. It's my father's handwriting. I've identified it, and so have experts. I relocate back to Los Angeles, and I start a full-bore investigation, like I'm trained to do. The circumstantial case was building on Elizabeth Short. We've got the surgeon, we've got the handwriting, then the description of the suspect that was actually seen at the crime scene. A witness was a half block away, and he saw this 1936 dark sedan. Well, Dad at that time was driving a 1936 black Packard sedan. After digging into it and getting all the witness statements from that time period, I submitted in secret to an active head deputy DA. He came back and he said, "Based on your investigation, I would file on Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia, and I would win it in a jury trial." I get permission to actually examine some secret files. And there's a Hodel file. I find out he was the prime suspect all along, and I find out that they tape recorded our residence. His actual words are, "Supposing I did kill the Black Dahlia, they can't prove it now. They can't talk to my secretary anymore because she's dead." I didn't go to this case, it came to me. This man spread so much horror. The tragedy of it is he could have cured cancer. I mean, he could have done anything. And this dark side, this evil monster within, was the power that ruled.
Well, Steve, thank you for being here. You were very close to your father for a long time towards the end of his life, right?
I was.
So this had to be a shock.
More than a shock. I was confident when I started out that I'd be able to exonerate him.
So when was the first time in working the evidence over that it hit you that this really could be my father?
Probably about a year and a half into the investigation before everything came together, the witnesses, and it all came together to the point when I submitted it to the DA in secret.